What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. And what a day, because there is a lot going on here in the country. The next stimulus package, the Build Back Better package, or the American Families Plan, passed the House of Representatives. And also, Vice President Kamala Harris momentarily became the president of the United States today. That's right, in today's episode of You Can't Make This Up. We're going to go over all that in this video. What's in this version of the House passed stimulus bill, and what is going to happen with it going forward as it goes to the Senate, because that is very, very important, and what is going to happen going forward. Also, I'm going to give you the next clue to what's in this box, as we're giving away $1,000 here in total to our viewers, and we're going to be doing that again in December. So definitely want to make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. We got a lot to talk about here, as the U.S. House of Representatives has just passed the next stimulus package. Here we go. First, let's start with Vice President Kamala Harris momentarily becoming President of the United States in today's episode of You Can't Make This Stuff Up. And I'll show it to you on the screen so you actually believe it. Yeah, here we go. President Biden briefly transfers the power of the presidency to Vice President Kamala Harris today while he gets a colonoscopy. Yeah. President Biden temporarily transferred the power of the presidency to Vice President Kamala Harris today before he underwent anesthesia for a routine colonoscopy. Biden had the procedure done at Walter Reed Medical Center as part of his annual physical, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a statement. Quote, as was the case when President George W. Bush had the same procedure done in 2002 and 2007, and following the process set out in the Constitution, President Biden will transfer the power to the vice president for the brief period of time when he is under anesthesia, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said. The vice president will work from her office in the West Wing during this time. After transferring the power at 10:10 a.m., Biden completed his colonoscopy, and then Kamala Harris was president of the United States momentarily, and resumed his duties as president at 11:35 a.m. on Friday morning. He spoke with Kamala Harris and Chief of Staff Ron Klain at the time and, quote, was in good spirits. The White House will release a summary of his results and his physical later today. Biden, who will turn 79 on Saturday, is the oldest president in U.S. history at the time he was sworn in. So, were you aware that Kamala Harris was briefly president of the United States today? Bet you didn't know that. Okay, next on to the stimulus package. Here we go.
On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 213. The Build Back Better bill is passed.
The jubilance from House Democrats right now, literally jumping up and down on the House floor in a huddle, clapping, hollering.
Oh, yeah, they're going to all be running on this.
Oh yeah, this is really good for them, and they stayed united. And you know, in life, when things are difficult, when you finally succeed, it's even that much better. And that's how Democrats feel right now. It was a hard road to get here. It almost fell apart many times, but they did it. They were able to pass the president's agenda. They were able to pass things in this bill that they've been trying to get for decades. Paid family leave. Assistance for child care, an extension of the child tax credit, which I will say, the problem with the child tax credit before was that the poorest Americans didn't have access to it because they didn't pay taxes. In this bill, the poorest Americans, even if they don't pay taxes, will still get access to that child tax credit. So the climate change provisions, there is so much in this bill that Democrats have been fighting for so long. This is a really big moment. The progressives were on the floor cheering. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez hugged Sheila Jackson Lee, another progressive. There is just so much excitement from Democrats, even though the reality is that it's not done yet. It has to go to the Senate, where it will be changed, and it could come back to the House in a different version. But for now, this is a very big moment for the Democratic Party and a very big moment for Speaker Pelosi. Many think that this is her last term as Speaker, that this is her last term in the House of Representatives, and this is legacy building for her. This is something that these measures are things that she has been trying to do for many years throughout her career, and she was able to do it. She was able to unify her party, and she got the votes, and she got it done, Chris.
Okay, so the House of Representatives has passed the Build Back Better measure, or the American Families Plan. It's interesting to note here, or it's important to note here, I should say, that just the House has passed it. And even the interviewer there says that it's going to go to the Senate, and it's almost surely going to change in the Senate, probably significantly change in the Senate. Okay, so this is almost kind of a rough draft, or a first draft, because when the Senate changes it, it's going to have to come back to the House. Almost everybody, including Senator Joe Manchin, has said that even though the House has passed this bill, it has to be passed in the Senate. And the Senate, pretty much most, if not, well, I can't say everybody, but most people agree that the Senate is going to significantly change this bill. So there's like a big asterisk next to the House has passed this bill. Okay. We're going to go over some details here of what's in this bill. It's like 2,000 pages, okay? So now that the bill has been released and they went through amendment process and stuff last night, I'm going to be diving through that here with you guys over the course of the next few days. We kind of have like outlines, and remember, this was just passed here a few hours ago. So we're going to be going through kind of some broad overviews now in this video, and we'll be going through this over the course of the next few days. But remember that what the Senate passes is, or could be, very different. Okay, we have basically, think about the Senate here is going to be Joe Manchin versus Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is kind of the voice of the people. He's going to want more in there for the people. And then you're going to have Joe Manchin, who's going to be like, well, I don't agree with this, that, and the other thing, right? So who knows what Joe Manchin is going to want and not want. Okay, so what this bill was passed from the House is kind of like a first draft of the bill. Is probably the easiest way to think about that. So just keep that in mind, because that's just kind of the reality of the situation. So House Democrats on Friday morning, I think it was, right before 10 a.m., passed their mammoth social spending bill in a vote of 220 to 213. All Democrats voted yes. All Republicans voted no. There was one Democrat that voted no as well. His name was Jared Golden. Jared Golden was the one Democrat that voted no. We went over in the last video that there was it's not quite fully paid for. There's about $160 billion that is not fully paid for over the course of 10 years. So it would add about $16 billion to the deficit per year if the bill were to stay the same as it is, which is, again, it's probably not going to. It's probably going to change significantly. We're not going to talk a lot about the debt ceiling in this video because I'm not going to have time. But at first glance, remember this bill was just passed. I don't think the debt limit is included in this bill. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think they passed this bill with the debt limit increase in this bill. Remember, the bill's 2,000 pages, but from what I can see, I don't think the House of Representatives included a debt ceiling increase in this bill. In today's episode of You Can't Make This Stuff Up. So again, I will have to try to get more context and more details as I try to sift through all the information coming out today. I will have more information coming out for you guys over the course of these next several videos coming out here. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. The debt limit is where the country is literally going to default and run out of money. Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans in the Senate, and Chuck Schumer are in talks, but I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't know what they're going to do. So they have to do this to prevent the country from defaulting and to keep Social Security payments to keep going out and to keep child tax credit payments from keep going out and to prevent our country from collapsing, economic collapse. But yet it doesn't look like they included it in the stimulus package passed by the House. Again, I have to sift through the details. It was just passed here. It's 2,000 pages. But all the summary articles and stuff that I have seen so far do not mention debt limit included in there. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Okay, also, the House has a lot of immigration reform in this bill that the Senate parliamentarian has ruled shouldn't be in this bill, which is another thing the Senate is probably going to have removed or stripped out. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be, but has a high likelihood, which will reduce the cost of this bill. So remember, we talked about $160 billion that is going to add to the deficit. Well, if you remove the immigration stuff, that would probably make it almost a net zero cost, okay, if the Senate removes that. So just one change right off the top there. A couple more things here. Let's talk about what's in this bill. Okay, we're going to give you a brief overview. And remember, the key word here is that this is going to be significantly changed in the Senate. Okay, but let's go over what we know so far. Also, I'm going to have a lot more details as I kind of sift through what they actually passed. Okay, $555 billion to help fight climate change. Okay, the bulk of the clean energy bill, $320 billion, comes in the form of tax credits for companies and consumers that install solar panels, improve efficiencies of buildings, and purchase electric vehicles. I talked about this in one of my past videos, where if you purchase a solar vehicle, as an example, you can get up to a $12,500 tax credit in electric vehicles, just as one of the examples, okay? I also believe that there's going to be tax credits. Remember, a tax credit is basically a rebate on your taxes, right? Remember, a stimulus check, as an example, is actually considered a tax credit. It's an advance tax credit. They send you the check out in advance, okay? When you hear tax credit, it's basically the IRS just giving you money back on your taxes, okay? Even if you don't file taxes, you can get a tax credit. A stimulus check is kind of that way, okay? So you can actually get, if you're purchasing an electric vehicle, you can get up to $12,500 back from the purchase price of that electric vehicle. So for example, if you're purchasing a $50,000 electric vehicle, just as an example, just for a nice round number, you can get, say, 25% of that money back, $12,500, if you meet certain criteria. If it's a US-based company and it's a union-based company, you can get up to $12,500 back from that, from one of the things in this package, okay? I also believe that, I'll have to go through, again, there's just so much information in here. You can actually kind of see this here. The Biden administration says the tax rate could cut the overall cost of installing solar roof panels by 30%, as well as lower the cost of electric vehicles by 12,500%. The reason they're kind of doing this is because they want to have cleaner energy. Okay, they want to get away from the cost of, or get away from coal and get away from stuff like that. So they want to have things like solar and electric vehicles. Now, I don't know why they do this stuff. I'm going to have comments in the comments section saying poor people can't afford this stuff. I agree with you. But remember that I am not the one making the laws. I'm just the messenger. So I totally understand everybody's point of view. But nonetheless, this is what they're passing. This is one of the items that they're passing. So I'm just kind of here reporting to you guys what's in the package. So there's also, I believe, in this, if you want to winterize or make your home more efficient with windows and winterizing and stuff like that, you can get a tax credit for that as well. Okay, we're going to be moving on here because I'm going to go into more details in all these different. There's so many different things in this bill, and things you can apply for in tax credits like this type of stuff. There's a lot of different stuff in this bill. Okay, guys, like 2,000 pages. So we're just going to be moving on here because over the course of the next few days, I'm going to be going over this stuff. This bill will provide 300,000 jobs to restore forests and wetlands, okay, et cetera, et cetera. $400 billion for universal pre-K. Okay, this is preschool. Again, the vast majority of first world countries already provide this, and we're one of the few first world countries that do not provide this. Right now, there's a few states, I believe, that provide this for free, but the majority of states don't, and they want you, like if you go to try to put your kid in preschool, it's like thousands of dollars per year. Okay, so now they want to make this free, but again, it has to pass the House and the Senate to survive Joe Manchin and all this stuff. This bill directs money to providing free universal preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds, which the White House has dubbed the largest expansion in education programs since the creation of public high school. And wow, I don't even know when that was, but that was probably like 100 years ago. Uh, God, I mean, can you imagine when the creation of public high school was? This is $400 billion. So this is a lot of money, right? Under the universal preschool plan, parents will be able to send their children to a public school or a child care program of their choice. The effort is part of Biden's larger plan to ease the financial burden of facing millions of American families, particularly low income parents with children. Families that earn less than $300,000 annually, for instance, will pay no more than 7% of their income on child care for kids under the age of 6, according to the bill. Child care costs, this is actually kind of a second thing here. They're going to reduce the cost of child care. So if you have children, it says here for children under the age of 6, and I'm going to have to go into detail here on the next few videos or as I get more information, how this is going to work, how they're going to actually pay for childcare. There's two different things here. There's the preschool for ages 3 and 4-year-olds here. Let me go back up here. For 3 and 4-year-olds here. And then they also have childcare. Okay, two different things here. Childcare, where you will spend no more than 7% of your income on childcare. Okay, so right now the average family that has to go to work, say mom and dad go to work and they have to put their child in childcare, spends over $10,000 per year. $10,000 per year. So on average, $800 a month is around $10,000 a year. I think that's $9,600 a year. Okay, so if you spend $800 a month, that's $200 a week. That's about $10,000 a year. So they're going to significantly reduce the cost of childcare for families across the United States. Okay, I believe we had Representative, I think it was Ayanna Pressley on the show that said the cost in her state, I think it was Massachusetts. I'm just going off memory here. Remember, I cover a lot of information on the show here. She said the cost of childcare in her state for the average family was $21,000. $21,000. So they're in this bill that families will pay no more than 7% of their income on childcare, and low income families will actually get child care for free. So again, this is going to significantly be a huge savings for families with children, okay? With children. How this is going to work, how they're going to get the money to you, if it's going to be a tax credit on your taxes, we will have to find out the details on this. Now remember, it has to pass the House and the Senate and get signed by the president. So again, I will keep you up to date on this as well. Next up, $200 billion for child tax credits. The bill grants a 1-year extension on the child tax credit. These are the monthly checks that go out to 65 million children. $300 every single month per child under the age of 6, and $200 per month for children ages 6 through 17. Families that do not earn enough money to qualify for the income tax liability will be eligible to continue receiving the full child tax credit beyond the 1-year family or 1-year period. So what I believe they're talking about here is that there is no income requirements. Remember that we had Senator Joe Manchin originally talk about that there would be income requirements or a job requirement. They did not put that in this version of the bill. But remember, it has to go to the Senate. Anything could happen there. Okay. So the monthly checks called the child tax credits every single month. They're going to end on December 15th if they can't fully pass this bill in the Senate. If the Senate changes the bill at all, it has to go back to the House to pass. Okay. So in less than a month, the December 15th payment's going to go out. Also, if the debt limit expires before December 15th, that payment might not even go out. Okay. If the Treasury runs out of money before December 15th, the child tax credits payments might not even go out. Okay. So keep that in mind because the Treasury has to have money to even send out child tax credit payments. That's the debt limit is very, very important, guys. It literally means the country will default, run out of money. And they have to do that here within the next 2 to 3-ish weeks. Remember, the debt limit doesn't have an exact date. It's an estimated date. It's the date where the Treasury, the country, will literally run out of money. They have to have an agreement passed by Congress to even be able to print more money. They have to do that just to keep the country going, okay? Just to keep the country going. And remember, they also want to pass a NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, which is $778 billion just to pay for the military for 1 year. $778 billion. And they also want to put a competition act in there to keep out the country more competitive and to manufacture microchips and stuff. When you add that on, it would be over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. And there's no pay for that. It's not paid for. It would basically either add to the debt or just come out of the revenue that the country takes in. So when we talk about this Build Back Better package is paid for, they're raising revenue, they're raising taxes on corporations and wealthy individuals and leftover stimulus money. The NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, and this Competition Act, there's no pay for that. All right, so everybody's on the same page here. That's just for 1 year of the defense of this country. Okay, $200 billion for 4 weeks of paid family and medical leave. Okay, this is going to be 4 weeks of paid family and medical leave where the government will pay your paycheck if you become sick with a virus or you have a baby, including those who are self-employed for 4 weeks and can be used for caregiving or for personal illness. And you can see here, workers who are request paid leave starting in 2024. Wow, is that really the case? Workers who request paid leave starting in 2024 will receive a percentage of their income starting at around 90%. Well, I guess it's going to be 2022 here in like a month. Wow, so it's not going to start till 2024. And scaling down for high earners. So their income can be replaced up to 90%, 2022, 23, 24. So I guess that this paid leave wouldn't start for 2 years, 2022, 23, 24. Yeah, so I guess it wouldn't start for like 2 years or so. Currently, the U.S. is one of the few industrialized nations without a national paid leave program for new parents. It's not just for new parents. It's covers illnesses and stuff like that. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, just 23% of civilian workers in the U.S. had access to paid family leave, and 89% had access to unpaid family leave. $165 billion on healthcare spending, including expanding Medicare coverage to include hearing benefits and hearing aid benefits. Also, premiums to those who buy insurance through the Affordable Care Act marketplace will be around $600 less per person per year. So a family of four earning $80,000 annually would save roughly $246 per month on health insurance premiums. So if you buy health insurance on your own through the Affordable Care marketplace, you will be saving around $600 per person each year. Okay. And they've included, where is that here? Did I scroll past that? Hearing benefits for seniors on Medicare, including hearing aid. Now, the Senate could add vision and dental in this package as well. That could be something that Bernie Sanders adds, or it could be something added in the next stimulus package as well. Okay, that is something that is on the table, could be added in this package or the next stimulus package. There is going to be another stimulus package after that. $150 billion to expand affordable health care, or I'm sorry, affordable home care. Affordable home care. This will include $25 billion more for rental assistance. Rental assistance. There's also $10 billion for homeowners assistance. I have links that I'll link you to here at the end of the video. I do want to say at this time, the House has not passed a check for adults in addition to these other programs. There is going to be like rental assistance and mortgage assistance that you're going to be able to apply for, but there's not an additional check, like a direct check for adults at this point. That's why I recommend you advocate, email, call, tweet your senators, Bernie Sanders, Joe Manchin, and tell them, because again, this package is likely going to be changed significantly when it goes to the Senate, and we're going to have Bernie Sanders and Joe Manchin and Bernie Sanders fighting for us. Now, I do want to mention, though, that there is the adult tax credit in here, okay? There is the adult tax credit. Build Back Better framework offers tax credits and federal assistance. Like I said, there's likely going to be multiple different things you can apply for. And there is the adult tax credit or the earned income tax credit in this package. Okay. The framework includes $200 billion for child tax credits and earned income tax credit, also known as the adult tax credit. One of the biggest areas of investments is an expansion of the child tax credit for more years to come. We already discussed that. The earned income tax credit would also get an extension until 2022 and pay up to $6,728 for adults, depending on your tax filing status and various other factors. Okay. So there is an adult tax credit, also known as the earned income tax credit, in there, I believe, based on this article. I'm going to have to go through the text, which was literally just passed like 2 hours ago here, where you can get an earned income tax credit, also known as the adult tax credit, up to $6,728 based on your tax filing status and various other factors. Okay. As you can see here, there's also care for senior citizens. The framework includes $150 billion to deliver affordable home care to senior citizens living with disability. The White House says roughly $5,800 is paid out annually for just 4 hours of home care per week. Medicare Advantage or Medicare benefits. There's a lot in this package. I'm running out of time for this video. I'm going to be sifting through all these details, and remember that this package is likely going to change. So this is like a framework of what is probably going to be passed. This is kind of a first draft of what is going to be passed in the Senate. There's probably going to be a lot of changes in the Senate. But I'll keep you up to date at this point. It's passed in the House, but like I said, it's probably a first draft because it's probably going to be changed a lot in the Senate. Email, call, and tweet your senators. I'll keep you up to date with everything. Make sure to subscribe down below. And before I forget, let's do the clue for what's in the box. Clue number 3 is this item inside could open a door, per se. The item inside could open a door, per se. So if you can guess what's in the box, you'll be entered into the pool of people who have guessed correctly. And from there, we will randomly pick 10 people to win $100 each for a total of $1,000 that we're going to give away here in the next few days. And we're going to do it again in December as well. So again, the clue is the item could open a door, per se. If you think you know what's in the box, just leave a comment down below. That's all you got to do. You can guess as many times as you like. That's clue number 3. I'll have more clues coming for you guys in upcoming videos. So don't miss any videos at this point. Make sure to subscribe down below, and I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country and with these upcoming stimulus packages and stimulus programs or state stimulus programs, Social Security raises coming out, all sorts of things coming out here. So you can click here to watch my newest stimulus program next. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next video.